Welcome to your favorite channel, where you'll learn everything you need to know to improve your health and lifestyle. Let's get started.
Have you ever really stopped to think about what's happening inside your body when you have a drink? I don't mean just the buzz. I mean, what's going on deep down, at the cellular level? Well, today, we're going to be forensic investigators. We're diving deep into alcohol's cellular crime scene to find out what really happens after just one drink.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll look at processing the poison, how your body even deals with this stuff. Then, we'll see the fallout, the onslaught of oxidative stress. After that, we'll investigate what happens when powerhouses fail, meet the heroic cellular cleanup crew, and finally, see how we might be able to start bolstering our defenses.
Okay, first stop, processing the poison. You know, the second alcohol passes your lips, your body sounds the alarm. It sees it as an intruder, and it kicks into gear immediately to deal with it. So yeah, what does happen right after that first sip? How does our body take something like a glass of wine and turn it into, well, something totally different?
It's this three-step process right here. Step 1, simple enough, you drink the ethanol. But then, your body gets to work converting it into step 2, acetaldehyde. Now pay attention here, because this is the really crucial part. Acetaldehyde is a straight-up toxin. It's only after this toxic intermediate step that your body can finally break it down into something harmless, acetate.
So you've got to understand, before your body can get to that safe final product, this toxic middleman, acetaldehyde, is literally running wild inside you. This molecule right here is the main villain of our story. It's causing all sorts of cellular damage before your body even has a chance to neutralize it.
And the presence of our villain, acetaldehyde, leads us directly to the next phase of our investigation, a massive onslaught of oxidative stress. This is where a real battle begins to rage inside every single one of your cells.
So what in the world is oxidative stress? Well, think of it like a seesaw. On one side, you have these damaging things called free radicals. On the other side, you have the good guys, the antioxidants that fight them. When you drink, your body creates way too many free radicals, and the seesaw tips way out of balance. The best way to picture it, it's like cellular rust. It's literally corroding your cells from the inside.
And alcohol is like pouring gasoline on this fire. As your body breaks it down, it creates a ton of these things called reactive oxygen species, or ROS for short. These molecules are super unstable, and they just go on a rampage, attacking everything in sight: your DNA, critical proteins, even the very walls of your cells. And what's really scary is that your brain is especially vulnerable. Why? Because it's full of fatty lipids, which ROS love to attack. And it just doesn't have the same level of antioxidant defenses as other parts of your body.
All of this cellular rust and damage leads us right to our next crime scene, the point when powerhouses fail. We are talking about a full-on mitochondrial meltdown.
Now, you probably remember these little guys from biology class, right? The mitochondria. They're the powerhouses of our cells. And that's not just a cute nickname. They are absolutely essential, generating more than 90% of the energy your body needs just to stay alive.
So here's the problem. Alcohol and its toxic buddy, acetaldehyde, they make a beeline right for these powerhouses. They directly attack and damage the very source of our body's energy. And when these powerhouses get damaged, it sets off a devastating chain reaction. First, energy production just tanks. It's like a citywide power grid failure, which is a big reason you feel so tired and foggy after drinking. Second, these damaged mitochondria, they become broken factories and start pumping out even more of those nasty ROS, making the whole oxidative stress problem worse. Their walls can start to get leaky. And in the worst case scenario, the damage is so bad it triggers something called apoptosis, programmed cell death. The cell literally gets the signal to self-destruct.
Okay, I know, it sounds pretty bad. We've got a villain, we've got failing powerhouses, but surely our body has a way to fight back, right? Well, it does. Let's meet the cellular cleanup crew. It's a process called autophagy, and unfortunately, it's also under attack.
Autophagy. It's a cool word, right? It literally means self-eating in Greek, and it's basically your cell's built-in cleanup and recycling program. Its whole job is to go around, find broken parts, like those damaged mitochondria we were just talking about, and get rid of them to keep the cell healthy. It's supposed to be the hero of this story.
And don't just take my word for it, the research here is so clear. This quote shows that the specific process of cleaning up mitochondria, that's called mitophagy, is one of our best defenses against oxidative stress, inflammation, and even diseases related to aging. It's our body's own little superhero.
But, and this is the most insidious part of this whole thing, here's the crucial twist. Alcohol, the very thing causing all this chaos, also sabotages the cleanup crew that's supposed to fix it.
Here's how it does it. It actually suppresses the signals that tell the cleanup process to even get started. It specifically messes up mitophagy, meaning all those damaged, rust-producing mitochondria just get to hang around and accumulate. All of that leads to a buildup of cellular junk and toxic proteins, which then contributes directly to inflammation and damage in the brain. It's just a devastating double whammy. Alcohol trashes the house, and then it ties up the person who's supposed to clean it.
Okay, I'll admit, that sounds incredibly bleak. But the story doesn't have to end there. Let's move on to our final section, bolstering our defenses, because there just might be some hope on the horizon.
So the big question is, with this crazy, complex assault happening inside our cells, is there anything we can actually do to help them fight back?
Well, believe it or not, the science is actually pretty optimistic on this front. Research is pointing to several compounds that might actually help support our body's own natural defense and repair systems.
And here are some of those potential strategies. First, you have things called NRF2 activators, like sulforaphane. That's the stuff you find in broccoli sprouts. These are so cool because they don't just add antioxidants, they actually tell your body to make more of its own. Then you have polyphenols, like quercetin or curcumin, which you'll find in turmeric. These are powerful, natural antioxidants that are actually able to get past the blood-brain barrier. And finally, there are other agents, like melatonin, the sleep hormone, that have also been shown to help reduce some of this cellular damage.
So you see what's happening here, right? These strategies aren't just random shots in the dark. They are specifically targeted at the two main problems we've been talking about this whole time: helping out that cellular cleanup crew, autophagy, and fighting back against that fire of oxidative stress.
Which really just leaves us with one last big question to think about. Now that you've been on this tour, now that you know about the microscopic battle that rages inside your cells with every single drink, how does that change the way you see your next one?
Here are some tips to help you have a healthy and strong body and mind. Remember that we upload videos every day.
Let's dive into some simple, science-backed habits for a longer, healthier life. So let's reframe the goal here. It's not just about more years, but more life in those years. And that's the key difference, right? We're not just chasing a long life, we're aiming for a long health span. All right, first up, exercise. Experts pretty much agree it's the most powerful tool we have for longevity. And the research is super clear. These three things are huge predictors of how long and well you'll live. So, a balanced fitness plan should hit all four of these areas every single week. And check this out. Your VO2 max, a key marker, drops about 10% every decade after you hit 25. This is why strength training is so critical. It's not just for today, it's a real investment in your future. Okay, moving on to pillar 2, strategic eating. It's not just what you eat, but when. So, can fasting actually help? Research says yes. It can trigger some powerful repair processes in your cells. You've basically got two main ways to go: short and regular, or longer and less frequent. And what's really cool is how these different methods can fit pretty much any lifestyle. And the science backs this up. These methods can slash risk factors for many age-related diseases. But how do you know if any of this is actually working? That brings us to our final pillar, monitoring. Think of these 5 tests as a snapshot of how you're aging and what your long-term risks are. This chart shows you the targets to aim for. You can discuss these specific numbers with your doctor. Just keeping that one inflammation marker low could potentially add up to 10 years to your life. Wow. And as you can see, the higher that inflammatory marker gets, the higher your health risks climb. Okay, let's put it all together. Here's your simple blueprint for a longer, more functional life. It boils down to this 3-point plan: exercise, diet, monitor. It's all about empowering you. But the key thing to remember is this isn't a quick fix. It's about building lifelong sustainable habits. So a great question to ask yourself is, what's on your centenarian decathlon? What do you want to do? Because here's the bottom line: how you age is a choice. So why not start training for it today?
If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers so I can bring you better content. See you tomorrow with a new video.